So I look a little differently. I say Trump.
I don't swear in public very well, but we have to Trump.
What they meant to say, Donald Trump and Elon Musk.
Why they saying fuck Donald Trump and Elon Musk? Only thing I've been seeing them do since they got off is all good things. They've been finding all the corruption, all the mispayments, all the stuff that the American people wanted them to do and they said they was to do. They've been doing it.
All the money that's been going to the wrong places.
Yes.
In large quantities.
Yes.
Billions.
Yes. Telling NATO like, yo, y'all gotta pay more. If you want to avoid the tariffs, y'all need to put y'all businesses right here in America to put jobs here in America. All I've been hearing him say is putting in a plan to put more money in more people's pockets. I don't see what the issue is.
Wow. Classic.
Almost like, yo, all I hear is they like when we broke.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what it's starting to feel like.
Y'all like when we broke and
messed up. Don't know nothing about it.
Yeah.
Don't know why we broke.
We just broke.
See. All right, Senator Ted Cruz is standing by, but first to Kellyanne Conway, former senior counselor to President Trump, now
First 100
president
days.
of KAC Consulting, and Leslie Marshall, Democratic strategist, both are Fox News contributors. And as I said, Senator Ted Cruz
Democrats.
coming up in moments. Ladies, great to see both of you. I want to pull this up. This is from Jerry Baker's editorial in the Wall Street Journal. As Democrats stand up for the bureaucrats against Doge. He says it was a tableau for the ages. One example of the many strange battle lines the Democratic Party has chosen to defend the past few years. Illegal immigrants over citizens.
That's what it seemed like.
Teachers' unions over parents and children.
Yes.
Criminals over victims.
Facts.
Men turned women over girls.
Facts.
Good luck with that, Democrats, he writes. You may want to fire your pollsters.
Good luck with that. Mm-hmm. Nobody's agreeing with none of that. But this is the hill y'all choosing to stand on. And for some reason, I don't know why y'all stand down on this hill. It feel like the Democrats are no longer for the working class people.
Yeah, and it's a shame because you would think everybody would be all in on basically saying, okay, the economy's messed up.
Yeah.
Let's figure out why.
Yes.
And try to fix it.
Yes.
You would think everybody would be all in on that.
You think everyone would be on in that if it's a boy, they shouldn't be having sports with girls.
Yeah.
It's just common sense at this point.
Leslie, let me start with you. Your reaction to the sort of vulgar language that was just used that you saw from Democrats who seem to be wanting to die on the hill of not cutting spending in Washington.
Sure.
Oh, I would disagree. I'm a Democrat. I want spending cut. But I don't want people who are in the middle of a medical trial who have medication in their body and could become very ill or die because of that type of a cut. When you're spending millions to send the president to the Super Bowl, when you have people that are not vetted properly, when you have people that don't have security detail, when you have people who are experts in computers rather than forensic accountants or CPAs looking to cut budgetary items, and then which budgetary items?
Man, that's why I'm glad I'll be actually paying attention to what's going on now. They would think that they will have you believe that the people that's working with Elon Musk is just young idiots. I heard Trump say earlier, the lowest IQ that's around Elon Musk on that team is a 160. They even
geniuses.
They even got 182s.
Yeah, they're geniuses.
On that team.
Period.
You want to cut fat, you want to cut pork. I and Democrats don't have a problem with that, but we do have a problem when you're cutting programs that affect the health care for veterans as examples. And I could go on and on and on and take up the whole show with cuts that are going to hurt people, farmers that are going to be hurt in the Middle East.
Yeah, but Leslie, the issue is that Democrats have never wanted...
That's funny that we have a Democrat here bringing up farmers. 'Cause I heard Trump speaking earlier. He said nobody has been more harsh to the farmers than the last 4 years. He said that what they did to the farmers over the last 4 years will make you think that they do not like farmers. And we've been hearing story after story of all the stuff the farmers been going through. And she had the nerve to bring it up like, we're for the farmers.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Wanted to cut anything. So, they have never come forward in the way that we're seeing now.
That's why egg prices are spiked right now.
Yes.
Like they have to be able to exist and facilitate all the needs of the farm.
Yes. You know how many farms were shut down over the last 4 years?
Yeah,
And it's crazy.
it's crazy.
Then they wonder why stuff is going up.
Anything. So, you know, they have never come forward in the way that we're seeing now. And Kellyanne, let me let you weigh in here and answer Leslie's discussion here that they're cutting things that are hurting people. What do you say to that?
Well, that's what they want us to believe. They want to scare people
Fearmonger.
instead of get the facts and actually
Yeah.
help a little bit. Why
Yeah.
not some bipartisan?
Fear-mongering.
I like her already. She only had to say 2 sentences. I like you because anybody can see what y'all doing. Y'all just fear-mongering. Y'all really don't care. Y'all just was in office. Y'all could have changed things. Y'all chose to do nothing. When you had the Senate, the House, and the White House, and y'all did nothing.
They want to scare people instead of get the facts and actually help a little bit. Why not some bipartisan action?
Exactly.
Leslie and Martha, on things that are so outrageous and egregious, no one can possibly rationally disagree. No
Yes.
one who doesn't have
Rationally
stage-five
disagree.
Trump derangement syndrome, which is everyone you just showed. Leslie, I don't think your party looks good right now. And
At
sometimes
all.
you have to say the away team is having a bad season.
You're looking at a lifetime Democrat.
Man,
I said I'm good. I'm good on that.
I don't think your party looks good right
They
now.
don't.
And sometimes you just have to say the away team is having a bad season.
Facts.
We're going to regroup. You
Yeah.
don't want to defend the indefensible. It is
Yes.
indefensible to say that
You don't want to defend the undefensible. It's all going back to like common sense. Like the
Yeah.
stuff you're trying to defend is absolutely indefensible.
because when you come back down to the core questions, well, what did you do about it?
yeah,
It's silence.
yeah. It's nothing you can't say.
That's the issue. You can't really argue the point.
Nah, you can't.
season, we're going to regroup. You don't want to defend the indefensible.
No, you
It is
don't.
indefensible to say that we should be spending billions with a B on nonsense, on things that don't work
Nonsense.
anymore and never did. Transgender parades here and spreading atheism in Nepal there. I think the people of
In
Nepal
Nepal.
need other things
Right.
other than godlessness. Look, you
Right.
know that has been going on the last 4 years. I always disagreed that people said Joe Biden's not doing anything. I think he was doing a lot of harm across this world and in this country. But taking a woke agenda and exporting it to the world and asking all of us to pay for it. Ladies,
crazy.
I'm old at this point. I remember you're politically correct, you're politically incorrect. Ha ha, we can go have a drink and laugh it off. Now people are saying, excuse me, your wokeness is costing all of us money.
Facts.
You're putting dollar figures behind it.
You can be woke all you want. When it start costing me money, it's an issue.
Yeah, it's an issue.
It's a problem.
Your wokeness is costing all of us money. You're
Yeah.
putting dollar figures behind it. Now, those Democrats, if they actually had chapter and verse, Martha, of people who are being denied benefits and things that are going askew, we're all listening. I want to hear it. They're dropping F-bombs that you have to censor on a 3:00 in the afternoon show. It's
crazy.
They're obsessed with Donald Trump and Elon Musk, who are only trying to do what Trump was elected to do,
Facts.
what we all want done, which is to make sure that our money as taxpayers is going to things that help Americans, that help around the world. We can help, but it can't be for all this nonsense and these wasteful programs.
Yeah.
Let me quickly
Facts.
play this from Joe Rogan, and with a warning that there's another F-bomb in this one, too.
Damn.
Watch.
Joe Biden had went in and found corruption that was in the halls of our government and tried to weed it out and said there's corruption in these NGOs, there's corruption in these not-for-profits, there's a lot of corruption and influence, and we're going to weed this out because we want a fair country.
Right.
The place would be cheering him.
Facts.
Leslie, what do you think about that?
I think if we're cutting waste, why are we cutting anybody who's not a Republican from a certain committee or certain department? If we're cutting waste, why are we firing people who had a certain opinion politically on January 6th? If
my
we're
goodness.
cutting waste, then how come it's not being done in a bipartisan manner? How come it's
You're lying. You're just flat out lying. Out your team. He's been firing all types of
He's
people.
firing everybody. He's firing everybody.
He's been shutting down whole departments.
He's firing new hires at the VA.
Yeah, he's not saying, oh,
Like, you know what I'm saying? He's just he's trimming fat right now, literally. And anybody, it looks like right now anybody can get their hair cut
yeah,
off.
he said she's just trying to paint a picture like, oh, he's firing all the Democrats.
Like it's selective.
It's not. Anybody could get it right now. If we don't think that your program is no longer needed, we're getting rid of you.
Getting
Even
rid
if
of
you
you.
voted for Trump.
waste? Why are we firing people who had a certain opinion politically on January 6th. If we're
This is
cutting
crazy.
waste, then how
The
come
Democrats
it's not being
are
done in a
just looking
bipartisan
crazy
manner?
out here.
How come it's not being done with transparency? How come it is a constitutional crisis? They're just not only not caring about the Constitution, but the legality of these things. When Congress appropriates funds, whether it's Democrat or Republican, you can't just say,
Leslie,
well,
let
we'll
me
throw
just
out
point
the
one thing out.
executive branch
We
and
gotta
the
go, but
judicial
Leslie,
branch.
Leslie, you had 83% of Americans polled saying that they wanted significant or complete overhaul of the government. So are you willing to admit that your party has completely
Ignored the people.
overlooked
Ignored
how
them.
strongly Americans feel about cutting this spending that has gotten us $36 trillion in debt?
I would admit they want spending cut. I don't admit this is the way they want it cut, and they certainly don't like seeing gas prices go up, eggs, bacon, bread, which are just 3 today that
Yes,
are on the
those
rise.
That's what I hate about them. They're making it act like because Trump in office, he's the one that caused this stuff to go up. No, you guys caused this stuff to go up, and he's trying to combat it right now. And y'all trying to throw it at his foot like it's your
Nothing
fault.
happens
as it
overnight.
is.
Nothing happens overnight, and he definitely put his head on the forefront
Yes.
of these things.
When we hear about the prices and what's going on right now, nobody in their right mind right now is blaming that on Trump.
Right. And everybody really needs to see what's going on. And we don't even have the data collected yet to see the effectiveness of what's going on. These are just the things that he's putting in place to try to effectively combat what's already going on.
Yeah. And I keep hearing the Democrats say there's no transparency going on right now. Would you say been more transparency the last couple of weeks Trump been in office or the 4 years Biden was in office?
I would without question say it's been more transparency in the last few weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just one topic that you keep hearing about and you're not getting information in full. Like, I mean, they're talking about where the money's going, who they're cutting, why they're cutting, giving people ways out, options,
Bringing out receipts.
Yeah,
Saying if you want to, we could pass these around to you guys.
It's getting messy.
Yeah.
Up eggs, bacon, bread, which are just 3 today. That
Yes,
are on the
those were
rise.
so inexpensive under Biden.
Exactly.
98 days
No,
ago,
they're
less than
expensive now.
100
They're more
days
expensive now,
ago was
Kellyanne.
the election. The election was not.
She said you're
98 days ago.
Yo, she said you're acting like this stuff was not expensive under Biden. You're like this stuff was for the low, and all of a sudden out of nowhere it just skyrocketed.
Yeah, and it's like now we can't make it. Like, nah, we've been not making it. What you mean?
98 days
No,
ago,
they're
less than
expensive now.
100
They're more
days
expensive
ago
now,
was
Kellyanne.
the election. The election was 98 days ago. A month ago, we didn't even know who was running the country.
Right.
Now there's absolutely no doubt. And the volume and velocity with which President Trump is enacting this agenda, this mandate to actually cut out the waste and showing us, ladies, I think this is the important part. It's all transparent.
Yeah.
Today we're cutting USAID here. Today we're exposing this program and that program.
Yeah.
They're making it transparent.
Yeah.
And I think this is the end of Chuck Schumer, Martha. I think that they have no message except to attack Trump and now Musk. And I think those old war horses in the Democratic Party are going to be on their way out. They act like the election didn't happen yet.
All right.
I think so too. I think they definitely going to be on their way out. I think they need to take a page out of Republican playbook and become what they call it the new Republican Party.
Yeah.
They need a new Democrat Party because what they standing on and what they're doing, nobody's for it. Nobody's going to get behind it. We seen what y'all did the last 4 years, and nobody's happy with it. And y'all just doubling down on it.
Yeah, and like she said, she believes the Democratic Party act like the election did not already occur.
Yes.
And I always say that every time, like regardless of it's a Republican or a Democrat in office, but whoever is in office, whoever is the president
Yes.
at the moment, you got to get behind them
Yes.
and see what the plan is and let them execute.
Yes.
Normally, we don't even get to see what the plan is.
Yes.
We're actually privy to seeing what the plan is this time.
Yeah.
So let him run the play.
Yeah.
If it's a bad play, then
call it out.
Then call it out.
Throw a
It's
flag on the play.
It's a bad play, a horrible play. We're not running that anymore.
Yeah.
But let him run the play.
Yeah, that's all they asking for. And the crazy thing about all this is they're spitting at all the same rhetoric they were spitting before the election, and they lost. If you lost by doing exactly what you're doing now, why would you
Why
keep
would you
that
not try
going?
something new?
You keep doing the exact same thing that lost you the election, and it makes zero sense. We're about to get out this video, but before we do, if you didn't like, subscribe, or leave a comment, make sure you do that. Until next video, it's Tremaine Jones.
It's Lamar Wilson.
And we out.
When